G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the newly EZA'd or Extreme Z Awakened Mai. She is basically been revamped, which is really good. Before she was just an AGL support, but now she's a lot more. So she now has an AGL and int type lead skill of 90% compared to 60%, which is pretty good. She also has the ability to greatly raise attack and defense for one turn on her super attack with a great chance of stunning the enemy. That's a 70% stun chance, which is pretty damn high. I think it's one of the highest stun chances in the game. That's not a guaranteed stun from a passive, so that's pretty nuts. Then if we look at her passive skill, she has attack and defense of 100% or allies key of 3, with AGL type allies receiving 20% extra attack and defense, and Pepe Girls category allies receiving attack and defense of 30%. She also has a chance of performing a critical hit, gives Pepe Girls a chance of performing a critical hit of 15%, and then we get to foresee enemies super attack when HP is 50% or less, which is pretty damn good. In terms of links, she has Battlefield Diva, Brainiacs, Cold Judgment, Solid Support, Dismal Future, and Shattering the Limit. And in terms of categories, she's on Pepe Girls, Future Saga, Time Traveler's Revenge, Earthlings, Battle of Wits, and Connected Hope. Unlike other units, which sometimes are very dependent on having multiple different types of units or are quite category bound, AGL Mai is actually a surprisingly useful unit, being very useful in terms of obviously the Pepe Girls team with her support abilities, but her stunning makes her incredibly useful on pretty much every category team for their respective SBR and ESBRs. She also is really good synergy with the AGL Trunks and Mai unit, which is obviously on the Future Saga and the Time Travelers. So very good synergy there, sharing quite a few links and obviously giving them a 20% attack and defense buff. Her 3 key is pretty good and does help out the Time Travelers category quite a lot, and just pretty much every category that she's on. Because of her stun, she's just highly viable, and obviously fantastic to foresee enemy super attacks, which isn't dependent on anything else, and it can be quite helpful when it comes in a pinch. In terms of AGL Mai, we'll get our first look at her here. She's not going to have a tremendous amount going on in terms of her linkage, but already very good defense. Now she is getting additional support here from the Interibrian, but incredible defense to start off with, and with the fact that she's going to greatly raise attack and defense for one turn, she can be very good. Now in terms of build for Mai, you can be tempted to go for additionals, which I do understand due to her greatly raising attack and defense and her ability to stun being so high. But because the ability to stun is actually so high, because she has almost a guaranteed chance of stunning, I actually would suggest for you to go for critical hits. This will make her a somewhat suitable damage dealer as a floating unit on many of her other categories that aren't Pepe Girls. If you are concerned about not maybe getting the exact attacks that you want, you can always go for a split on a unit like this. Her Pepe Girls team self has a 15% crit chance, which is obviously very useful. But I think if you are doing a lot of major concerns, then you can always consider giving her the full crit build for damage on multiple categories. If you are going to restrict her to working only on Pepe Girls, if that's the only place that you want to utilize her, then that is more than fine. You can definitely focus in and try and use her there. I'm sure she'll get some pretty good work done overall, and you can go with additionals to really maximize the stun chance. So overall, Mai is pretty good. I quite like Mai. I like what she brings to the table. I think her link set is decent. She has a pretty nice link set for her Future Saga and her Time Travelers team. Cold Judgment's a very common Future Saga and Time Travelers link. Solid Support as well. Dismal Future is obviously great and gives her more key and crit chance. And Shattering the Limit is a very common link amongst most of these sub-banner units. Then in terms of the Pepe Gals team, she has some pretty interesting links as well. Cold Judgment's actually pretty common on the Pepe Gals team, and she has Battlefield Diva and Brainiacs as well, which is, pretty damn suitable for her. As you can see in this turn, we actually have her with 4 links, which is pretty good. She shares Brainiacs with Bulma, which is a very, very powerful link, and Bulma is actually a really good running partner for this AGL Mai. So we'll get a pretty good stat out of her this turn. I think we'll get 1.6, 1.7 million, which is pretty good. Remember, Mai brings a lot more to the table than just her attack stats. She brings really solid defense in the form of her greatly raising attack and defense, her great starting defense. She brings support for the Pepe Girls category for AGL types, and just brings key across the board. I mean, you could realistically just run her as a floater on every team as a 3 key support with a 70% chance to stun, ability to foresee enemy super attacks below 50%, and that would be literally a more than applicable support unit to run on almost any category team that she's on. So from my end, I definitely think that AGL Mai is an incredibly solid unit. I like what they've done with her, I like how they've built her, and I think it's a really, really viable and solid solution to have Mai be a unit like this. She really just kind of helps out with the, with the team in general, and just making everything run quite smoothly, which I do really enjoy. I do like units that make things run smoothly. I like units that make the teams run better overall and just get things done, which I think is always a good ability. Plus, foreseeing enemies' future attacks is a nice little ability to give her. I think it's quite a rare ability still, so to have more units that have it, even though it's conditional, is still very, very powerful. Here, we're sitting with 120,000. We have no support on the table, which is, a very good defensive stat considering, and she'll hit roughly about the same, which is obviously very good. Again, there we can see that 1.7 million, very, very good. She's giving the rotation a lot of support, and just overall we're seeing some good attack stats out of Mai. We're seeing some good defense stats out of Mai, and though she doesn't have the damage output potential of, say, a Bulma, who can, after stacking, get to over 3 million, which is very impressive, Mai does have a very, very solid toolkit to run with a unit like Bulma. I mean, having Mai with her stunning ability alongside Bulma with her healing ability is an incredibly powerful combo to have when you are taking on content. But it's a pretty powerful combination. Of course, we can definitely take a look at how she does on other teams. Some pretty good combinations across the board, and like I said, she's very self-sufficient, so she can be a unit that's quite powerful on any given team if you're using her in the right conditions. If you use her for SBR or ESBR, if you use her for content where her stun can come in handy, if you use her in content where some of her buffs are going to come in handy, like Mono AGL. The Mono AGL ESBR is a fantastic example of where AGL Mai, who was even useful before due to her passives and abilities, is now even more useful considering the changes that have been made. So from my perspective, I think the AGL Mai change was one of the better ones, just because it basically brought her utility that was relevant previously, the stunning, the support, the key support, and essentially brought it into the current realm of usability. So I thought it was really, really good, and I really, really liked the changes that they made. And you can see here that she's still very effective. This combination of her and the Trunks and Mai unit for the Future Saga team is a very powerful combination, because she gives them that 20% AGL support and gives them key, and they just share a very good link set, and you will see it very shortly, but it's a very powerful combination that does a lot of good work. So I think overall her changes were good. I think they achieved their goal, and I think I'm very happy with the changes that were made and with how they were meant to fluctuate. So yeah, for me, they were very, very good. And yeah, super happy with how her whole change has gone. I think if you're looking for a unit to stun or give key, or someone to just kind of float around, I think you are looking at a pretty good one overall. And yeah, I'm very, very happy with everything that's gone on here. So yeah, for me, awesome stuff from the AGL Mai, and we'll definitely get a pretty good look at her here, hopefully. With the AGL Trunks and Mai, a super powerful combination. You can see there they share some good links, 127,000 defense for the Mai, very, very solid. They share solid support, Cold Judgment, all the crucial links for her, barring Brainiacs, I believe. You've got the active skill as well that they can utilize, which will be buffed even further by her support abilities. So yeah, Mai and Trunks and Mai are a very powerful, very powerful unit, and I really do quite like how they look as a combination. I think they're going to do a lot of good work. I think they make the no item run for the Future Saga ESBR quite manageable. Obviously their active skill is fantastic for that stage, and her stunning ability is going to pair very well with them, considering their high starting defense as well. So she's going to be a great foil to run with them. Their matching link set is also really, really useful. So yeah, I'm quite a fan of that combo. And I think AGL Mai's EZA has brought it to relevancy. I also like the fact that they didn't just flat out make her like a all type support or something like that, because it keeps the nice niche development between the AGL Mai and the Int Mai, who is a time traveler support Mai. So I think overall that's a really good decision by them to kind of keep the two units separable for the most part, and I think that's really good and does really help out quite a lot for them. So yeah, definitely great stuff overall, and yeah, something that I think we can all pretty much look forward to. So from my end, I'm pretty happy with this unit's EZA, and I think we can take a look at how they are utilized in future. But for now, really solid, and yeah, awesome stuff from them. So the link sets kind of split into two. She's got Battlefield Diva, solid support, Cold Judgment, which are all really good links. Then she also has Brainiacs as well, and Shattering the Limit. So you'll see a similar kind of divide that you're going to see with a lot of these units, in that they really generally have a pretty strong kind of Pepe Gals link set. Obviously the Battlefield Diva, the Shattering the Limit, the solid support, quite common for the Pepe Gals. And then of course, Brainiacs in this case, she can link up with Belma, which is really good. And then you also have the secondary link set, which is kind of for the Future Saga units. So things like Dismal Future, Cold Judgment, solid support, there are all really strong, powerful links. So just remember, she can't link up with the Int Mai. So if you are looking to link her with characters, she's not really going to be able to link up with Int Mai. So maybe just be aware of that. Yeah, for the most part, she's looking pretty good, and I'm really quite happy with her performance. Quite happy with how she's been doing. So yeah, really good stuff there in terms of the AGL Mai. And you can see here, varying options. Not all of them are on her category. This unit, not really poutines generally for a crossover team. So even though they share a lot of links, they're not necessarily units that are designed to be utilized together, which is something I think you you should generally be aware of, at least. I don't think there's any real point in linking them up if the one unit's going to be doing so badly. And then of course we have the AGL Trunks in Mai, who we've discussed quite a bit, but yeah, they are one of the better linking partners for her. Solid Support, Cold Judgment, Dismal Future, Shattering the Limit, all very powerful link sets, and her support passive is really good for them, kind of beefs them up even more, and they are a fantastic unit, and in the right situations are really a top tier unit. So yeah, but that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like or a comment. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.